Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Bree if you are new, and welcome to Simply a Breeze. Today I wanted to take you guys along with me as I learn a new skill. I want to learn how to use up my sourdough discard. I have, well over 2 quarts of sourdough discard sitting in my fridge right now, and it's time I did something with it. So today I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make sourdough discard scones. The recipe I'm using is a recipe from Lisa at Farmhouse on Boone. So if you are a sourdough person and you are overwhelmed with the amount of discard that you have and you don't want to throw it away, she has some great recipes. I'm about to give one of them a try myself, but I do follow her sourdough bread recipe and it turns out phenomenally. So I have butter and I need to open this, but I'm going to take you guys along with me as I make scones, and I'm not sure how I feel yet, but I may also try sourdough discard crackers. I am having some friends over next weekend, and I want to have sourdough homemade crackers as an option to serve with, I have cowboy candy and I want to use up the cowboy candy, so I think we're gonna have sourdough discard crackers for that. So if this is something that you are interested in, please stick around and come along with me as I learn something new. Maybe you'll learn something new as well. So I have butter here. I have too much butter actually, but I need to get this plastic bag open. So I shopped for my butter at Costco, especially for baking, and I couldn't find the butter I was looking for. I thought this was the butter I was looking for, and upon getting it home, I realized I purchased a solid block of butter. This is a solid 1 pound block of butter, and I wanted the little individual sticks where each stick is half a cup. So we are gonna see how this goes. And then the rest of these I'll just pop into my freezer and I'll pull them as needed. But for now, I want this to stay as cold as possible, so I'm going to put everything back in the fridge. I just grabbed this out so I could open the bag. Okay, so first things first, what I want to do is I'm going to mix all of the dry ingredients together. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. Yeah, we're going to mix up the dry ingredients. So we need 2 cups of flour, half a cup of sugar, a tablespoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, a stick of butter, and blueberries. The blueberries I'm gonna add in very last because I have fresh blueberries and I don't wanna turn the whole thing blue. So I'm gonna add my blueberries kind of at the last minute. And then we need discard, egg, vanilla extract, and heavy cream. I'm actually going to use buttermilk. I've got some buttermilk that needs to be used up, and so we are gonna substitute buttermilk today. My food processor should be able to handle all that. I'm also going to make a double batch because I have that much discard and I'm gonna gift it to a neighbor across the street. They let me use their basement gym, so I don't have to pay for a gym membership, and so I bring them baked goods and homemade bread when I make it. So let's get that set up. Let's go with that. We've got our flour, so I know that we are going to need 2 cups of flour. So that's half a cup. That's 1 cup. 1.5. There we go. So that's 2 cups of flour. Set that aside, and I think I needed half a cup of sugar. I need vanilla. Baking powder. Oh, I need this to stay out. 1 tablespoon. And I need salt. So there's half a teaspoon of salt. We'll mix all of this up just a little bit. Okay, we'll set this aside. We're gonna need all of this stuff again. Our butter. And this block of butter, I'm gonna try and cut it into quarters. We'll see how that works out for us. So I'm gonna see if I can cut it in half first. Oh, not bad. Okay, so because this half broke off, I'm going to use that in the butter, or in the scones, and then I'll use this other half in the scones as well. And then I'm going to pop this back in the fridge for when I am going to make the second batch. There we go. And I do not have the oven preheating just yet because I want the scones to chill in the fridge for a little bit to make sure that butter stays nice and cold before we pop it into the oven. So we're going to go ahead and pulse this. I don't know. Okay, the butter is still very much in chunks. Yep. We're still very much in big chunks. Okay, so lesson learned, maybe chunk this up just a little bit instead of leaving it as a big stick. Let's see if this helps. Next, I'm going to go ahead and now add some wet ingredients, and that'll help also. Okay, so what else do we need? I'm going to go ahead and add, let's see, we need a teaspoon of vanilla. The vanilla I'm just going to eyeball. Don't measure necessarily. And then we need an egg. We need 3 tablespoons of heavy cream. We're going to use 3 tablespoons of buttermilk. And that was about 3 tablespoons. And then I need, 1 egg, and then we can add the discard. So there's some of the discard. And then how much discard do I need? I need half a cup of discard. Don't. That's just under half. Let me get a spatula. Just shy. Half a cup. Now let's see how this mixes up. The last time I made scones, I've made pumpkin scones before, and it was a different recipe, and I made it quite differently. So let's see. Next thing, and this was a trick I learned, oh gosh, I don't remember who else I saw that did this, but because I'm using fresh fruit to help it like adhere to the batter, I'm actually going to coat it in a little bit of flour. And then I need this stuff. This is the downside. I don't have like tons of counter space. Like we've got a nice open kitchen, but there's not a lot of like open counter space. Let me get this stuff out of my way. I don't need you. I need you for later. Okay. I'm gonna rinse. All of these blueberries need to be rinsed. None of them are bad, but they've been in my freezer. They've been in my fridge for a while, and they're just starting to get a little wrinkly, which makes them perfect for baked goods. Stuck my blueberries into this bowl, and I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of flour in there until I know that they've been coated in flour. Let me get this. Okay, so now we've got that unplugged. I'm going to take off the lid to my food processor, take my food processor out. Get my food processor out of the way. And I have, this is a baking sheet silicone mat, but it'll work for what I need it to do. I'm just going to very carefully dump all of the ingredients out. There we go. Awesome. So I can set that back up there. I'm going to go ahead and put this, we're going to put the blade back in here where I set that up there. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to break up this piece of butter just a little bit more. Perfect. I'm not a huge fan of you. And now I'm going to use some saran wrap to kind of push all of this together a little bit, because I want the dough to start adhering to itself, but I also want to minimize how much I'm touching this with my hands. And I've learned that scones, you don't want to knead the dough like you would a lot of other breads, because you want the butter to stay in chunks, because that's what gives it its like signature flaky, crumbly type of deal. So now, I think what I want to do, so I think I'm gonna layer the blueberries in. I don't want to add any extra flour, so I'm trying to grab blueberries without all the extra flour that they're in. I just need to grab 2 more. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting trick. Like I said, I've never made blueberry scones before, so I don't know how well this is going to go. Yep, I'm squishing some, and that's okay. I have I used to have a Pampered Chef scraper. I don't know what I did with it. So we're just going to use the back of the knife to help lift up some of the dough. And I'm currently only cutting into this to break apart some of the blueberries to help me incorporate them into this mixture. It smells good. The blueberries smell really, really good. They were also incredibly ripe, so they're super sweet at this point. And all I'm doing now, I'm going to shape this into a ball, mash it together. I'm going to get another piece of saran wrap, and I'm just going to wrap this all up and put it in the fridge, and then we'll get the other batch going. Okay. So very carefully, I'm gonna lift this guy up. I'll reuse that piece of saran wrap to mush together the next batch. There we go. Now we're gonna wrap. Up, wrap that up. Okay, so I'm gonna put this out of my way really quick because I don't need it at the moment. I don't need these at the moment. I will set this over here as well. We're gonna grab the food processor back down. I just wanted to make sure I had the ingredients evenly distributed before I started adding the butter and the discard and all of the wet ingredients. Okay, so we're going to take the lid off here. Here is our next stick of butter. And this guy we're just going to cut up into chunks before we add it. I'm going to pulse this together a little bit, and then I'll add the rest of the ingredients. Nice, thick discard. Let's go ahead and use as much discard as I was going to, so I'm going to have a better way to use my discard. We're going to add in an egg, add some vanilla. I need 3 tablespoons of heavy cream. I'm just going to use buttermilk. So we're going to use just under a 1/4 cup. Then we're going to blend this up again. So it's forming some nice clumps. Now we're gonna lay it out on the silicone mat again. We're gonna press it all together with the blueberries, and then we're gonna put it in the fridge to chill as well. Grab our silicone mat. We'll swish all this together. Let's see. I'm just gonna lay that right on top. Pull this right over. Pull this right over. There we go. And I will bring you back when I'm ready to throw these into the oven. All right, everyone, we're back. The dough has been in the fridge for a couple of hours now. I've got the oven preheating, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and lay these out on here, and then I'm going to get them cooked up. It's been a couple of hours. They've been chilling, but I needed to, we had some errands to run, and we had a little bit of yard work to do because now we are getting into the warm days. So we're gonna grab this. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do, just gonna flatten this guy out, kind of circular, not quite. We're gonna see how this goes. This could be a total flop. I don't actually know. Okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut this into 8 pieces. We're just gonna see if we can spread these pieces out a bit. Oh well, totally broke some of them apart. That is a-okay. And then some of them I can't get spread apart, and I'll cut them once they're done cooking. I'm gonna pop this back in the fridge while I roll the other one out. We'll see how they turn out. And this guy, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can spread it out on the saran wrap, and I'm going to bake this one in my cast iron. Let's see. We're going to see if we can do this delicately. I don't expect this to be an easily... Okay, that did not happen the way I would have liked. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to clean up the bottom of this pan. I totally cut through the saran wrap. I thought I was being very gentle. I wasn't gentle enough, but that's okay. We're here now. Oh my gosh, that's too funny. Okay, so we are just gonna push pieces all in here. Okay, and then this guy's gonna have to go on the other tray because apparently I can't fit it in there. That's too funny. Wow. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. Get down. But we'll just go ahead. No harm, no foul. It didn't end up on the floor. My cat didn't get to it. We're winning. Okay, and the oven is now preheated. Let me go ahead and clean up the bottom of this pan real quick before I go ahead and bake in it. Okay, these are gonna go into the oven. It said for about 20 to 25 minutes. So we'll see how they turn out. Okay, so I will show you guys what those look like here in about 20 minutes. Okay, so these are done. They are ready to go. I'm really glad I did end up having to remove one of the slices from that one batch because they would not have fit. But if you take a look, the color is beautiful. The texture on the inside is just gorgeous. Let me step out of the frame. Like the inside of this scone just looks amazing. We're gonna give it a quick taste test. Wow. That one piece is incredibly moist, so it's delicious. These turned out fabulously. So thank you for coming along with me. I will take you along with me as well when I go to make sourdough discard crackers. But now we need to quickly eat dinner and we're gonna go fishing. So thank you for joining me. Thanks for being here. Please consider giving me a thumbs up and subscribing because we're gonna do a lot more like this going on in the future. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.